Good morning. It's Monday, May 25th, and that means two things. Anyone that tells you that there are uncaused causes is trying to sell you something, possibly a philosophy textbook. But it's also time for the lighting industry news brief brought to you by Keystone Technologies and their product line of emergency exit signs and emergency units. So these across the whole line, there is something that will do what you need. They are available in red and green lettering, depending on which ISO standard your region supports. They have white and black housings. They have edge-lit illumination. These come in round and square styles with different lumen outputs. Combos are available. Keystone power supplies are guaranteed for performance in emergency conditions. That's KeystoneTech.com or the link in the description if you please. But let's get into the news. Del Vero has moved into liquidation. The Canadian LED maker had previously announced a pause in business. They are now entering receivership, so they are liquidating their assets to secure some clemency, some mercy from their creditors. Wind Supply has bought United Lighting and Supply, which means they now own 4 locations in Florida. DALS has bought Remington. This is a hospitality specialist. That deal closed without any details being offered to the public. USESI has bought Swift Electrical Supply. Again, no details offered to the public, but Swift Electrical will now be working under the Monarch Electrical Company name. The IES has announced 3 new revised standards. So RP8, which is related to lighting, roadway, and parking facilities, LS5 for color, and RP30 for museums. Those are all live. Those changes are active in the lighting library. They've also announced a 4th but new option. This is Technical Manual 39. This covers a new version of flicker metrics. ANSI C137 was also published. This is a new NEMA standard for weather and grid resilience fixtures for poles, mostly for poles. On the tariff side of things, Trump did threaten the entire EU with a flat 50% tariff on Truth Social on Friday, which means people have to call him on the weekend. A power move for any 80-year-old. The U.S. Green Building Council has asked Congress to keep tax incentives in place. A proposed Ways and Means bill would phase out the investment tax credit, and the Green Building Council would like that tax credit to remain in place. World Electric Supply has bought a new distro center, which is to say that they will be operating out of a 150,000 square foot facility outside Atlanta. The UK has announced funds for a new contest to reduce fixture waste. This is a £1 million prize to improve the use of plastic in electrical equipment. Beacon Awards are now accepting design submissions. You have until September 15th if you're a designer interested in winning a Beacon Award. Signify's buybacks continue. This week, we had 26,782 shares brought back into the board of directors' coffers. These all went for an average of 50 euros apiece. Canada Post workers have begun work to rule action, which is to say that union members will no longer be working overtime, so you can expect delays. Lights by Home One, a company that does permanent decorative lighting, is expanding, adding a 10,000 square foot facility in Calgary, Alberta. CES, City Electric Supply Stratford, Ontario, celebrated their 25th year. They held a party with 100 people to celebrate that. IKEA has entered the ceiling fan market with a new product line just in the US. Not even Canada, just the US. I need a new ceiling fan, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I'd really like a good one. I'd like one. It's getting hard to find one. Things you can find are Parsec partners with Rexel, which is a new contractor portal for them. Signify has launched a new LED made from recycled plastic. This is a new product just for the EU. We have a new warning against cheap solar garden lights. This has to do with holding charge issues. These are getting, again, the bog standard solar garden light is bad and gets worse every year it's in operation. That's what we know. The home renovation market is holding pretty well, actually. New construction has been falling. Those billings have been falling for months, but home renovations, though, those are holding pretty steady, actually. A pair of lighting suppliers are actually getting into the restaurant business. Jason Gormley, founder of Hydrologic, has bought Euphemia Hay, a popular restaurant on Longboat Key in Florida. In legal news, LED Lighting Solutions of Connecticut has settled their case with the feds. The owner will be paying $300,000 for false claims related to the origin of his projects under the terms of the Buy American Act and the Trade Agreements Act. Yeah, he was labeling Chinese product as American, and that was not good for him. He got caught doing that. Wicked Light Supply v. Wood Forest Lighting case has been affirmed upon appeal, which is to say that this case of warranty violation stands. The judge has said that, Wood Forest has to honor their warranties. In sales rep updates, Sesco has bought ERT, which brings them into the Texas market. On the event side of things, Leducation has opened registration for exhibitors, and they have shaken up the format just a bit, offering designer-only hours for the event. Those are early in the morning, so there you go. NY Control Ed is following that in the sense that they are also open to exhibitor registration, and they are also shaking up the format with new workshops, a full day for move-in, and new exhibition tracks. We have a date for the Allen Conference in Ireland. You can discuss the use of light at night in Ireland in Mayo from October 28th to the 30th. The CEDIA Expo is open for registration in Colorado. That event is set for September 3rd through 6th. And Light Ovation has announced their full schedule. That's coming up real fast, and you can see what events are planned and posted. In IoT news, the Dark Agency has partnered with Westire. This is an Irish company that mostly focuses on controls for exterior lighting, but they have now added American consultants. In the US, we have a Cyber Trust Mark established. This is a new private labeling program that should ensure IoT safety. Chris O'Shea is talking about junction boxes, knockouts, and plenum on the Lighting Controls podcast. Google Home is finally adding support for Gemini AI, which means new features will be available for connected homes. In Europe, Apple will begin supporting non-Siri voice assistants, which is to say that an Apple HomeKit can now be switched to a Gemini AI, perhaps, or any of the other helpful mom voices, should you want that. Skykes has secured a new contract with a developer, which means they will be building or partnering to build 5,700 smart homes in Miami, Florida. In R&D, blue light boosts your memory. Specifically, blue light during the day does improve your auditory working memory. We have a new nano-engineered phosphor based on europium-3 ions that is already on the market. This is a commercialized tech, but it is a new phosphor that does boost lumens per watt using europium crystals. We have a new meta-study on the non-visual effects of light. This is a comparison of 141 articles determining that during the day, if you experience bright light, you're probably better off. And we have an IEA report finding that most of the critical minerals, the copper, the lithium, the cobalt, the graphite, the rare earth elements, these are actually concentrated in a few regions, at least in terms of who's actually taking them to market. So that could change. On the dark side of things, parents are being cautioned against the use of nightlights for children's sleep quality and health related to sleep quality. Circadian rhythms do shift with age, which means that chronic health conditions related to age, those also shift alongside those. So I don't know, keep that in mind as you get older. Keep that in mind as to how you light your dad's house. We have a new framework for night shift health studies being proposed. We are seeing that circadian rhythms have been linked with stress hormones in humans and exercise habits in mice. A new study of frequent or recurrent gamblers shows that while if they are exposed to reduced sleep conditions, if they are made to gamble longer hours than maybe is necessary, they get moodier, they get more irritable, but they don't change their gambling decisions, which is interesting. Wearing sunglasses before bed does have some benefits, as do other blue blockers. This is a new study affirming that. Morvan Park in France is a new dark sky reserve. Nocturnal pollinators have been found to be just as important as daytime ones, and we have determined that light pollution is bad for bees. Yana Yakushina is back on the Restoring Darkness podcast. New Delhi has begun a new conservation program to support nesting season for the olive ridley turtle as they go about their business this spring. St. Pete, Florida has built new lighting without bothering an osprey nest. These were a large predatory bird that had nested in a tennis court. And they just rebuilt the lighting around that. We have a new Lights Out campaign for migration season in Manitoba. Charles City, Virginia is debating lighting rules at a proposed data center. Vancouver, BC is struggling with their growth and the growth of light pollution that comes with it. Galesburg, Iowa had been trying to repel nuisance crows with excess lighting, and they have determined that the better way to do that is to introduce falcons into the area. Schofield, Utah has set a new fine for light pollution. This will be $1,000 per night for people that violate their existing lighting laws, and we'll see how that goes. And the Bronx Zoo has reopened their nocturnal habitat exhibit. On the horticultural side of things, we have an analysis of what tariffs are already doing to the cannabis business. We have a new smart agriculture competition calling for projects related to strawberries, and Singapore is funding multiple indoor farm projects. In recommended reading, all the links actually, not just the recommended reading, but all the links can be found on nailed.org. We have Understanding Signifies Change in Patent Litigation Plans. We have a recap of IES Boston and their Illumination Awards. We have a recap of the ILLI Reunion and Symposium in Nashville. We have what hybrid lighting controls can do for you. What is next for lighting, really? We have trends for facilities. We have a discussion of whether or not, mostly on the not, as to lighting making you safer at night. We also have new and odd materials in lighting design, including coffee and orange peels, and the question of whether or not light fare can bounce back, especially in the 2029 show where they're going to move out of Vegas, which is probably for the best. In local news, Ohio is spending money to improve rail crossing safety, including lighting around those areas. Minneapolis, Minnesota will be fixing 20 miles of roads related to street lighting damages. Street lighting near Echo Park, Los Angeles, California. That'll take months to fix after they've been raided by copper thieves. We have new incentives going ahead in Southwest Michigan. New Orleans, Louisiana is ending their efficiency program. Cincinnati did complete 1,000 streetlight projects last year. Flint, Michigan is expanding their street lighting network to fight crime, allegedly. Federal cuts will be ending a street project in the Athens-Clarke County region near Georgia. Not just near Georgia, in Georgia and around Georgia. The Florida Department of Transit has banned most colors on RGB bridge lights again. We do have new grants going ahead for Toronto, Ontario businesses. Dartmouth, Nova Scotia is going to be funding lighting for pickleball courts, which has led to a feud with cricketers who would also like lighting. More on that. Sunbury, Pennsylvania, trade school students are actually assisting in rebuilding their own school library. North Bend, South Dakota School District is planning new efficiency projects. Kenny, Iowa is debuting a new glowing trail. Kenai, Alaska is rebudgeting for their maintenance problems. Paulding, Ohio schools got new grants, and we have new lighting for baseball fields funded by local charities going up in Norway, Michigan. Internationally, the Philippines Department of Trade and Industry seized $2 million worth of electrical products that were actually not labeled correctly. They're probably unsafe. In sports news, Sean O'Malley, UFC fighter, has blamed the lighting above the arena for his recent loss. He is already scheduling a rematch. And the Pennsboro Speedway has been closed for the season due to delayed lighting repairs. In People News, Stephen Wyckoff has been named an SVP at Rexel. Victor Williams has been promoted to COO at FSG. Christina Allison has been appointed the president of the SLL. Rob Zagarella has joined the Laura Alliance's BOD. Michael Jenkins has received his severance package from Orion. It's $600,000. In things you can make, or things that are weird, or things that I think are fun, we have found that Lumio Lighting has just got $300,000 on Shark Tank. You can use the lighthouse trick to find dropped objects in your house. We have how to build your own UV meter for the Flipper Zero. You can also convert your empty bottles into patio lighting. You can add an LED layer to your plywood if you have a curved plywood project that just needs a little pop. And the latest and greatest, most terrible thing in lighting controls, it's the screamer. It's like the clapper, but you have to yell at it, which is terrible, but I love it. So there you go. I've been Scott Wachter. I want to thank you for our time. I want to thank all our sponsors. I want to thank Nailed. I will see you next week. Take care of yourself.
All the nights you stayed, fall asleep in your clothes. Every time you are comfortable, you don't seem to care. Get on late, miss your flight. You don't mind, stay just one more night. Take you home, can't you smell it? My cologne, I can't believe that you're so in love. Showing your hand like a dealer. Sensual, gonna lead it to sudden hope. My God, I'm so in love. Showing my hand like a dealer. Take you home, can't you smell it? My cologne, I can't believe that you're so in love. Showing your hand like a dealer. Sensual, gonna lead it to sudden hope. My God, so in love. Showing your hand like a dealer. Sensual, gonna lead into sudden hope. My God, I'm so in love. Showing my hand.
All the nights you stayed, fall asleep.